We got our 53 millimeter cassette here. Let's start taking this thing apart. Now, before we do that, let's talk about this flow chart. So I'm going to grab our nice little flow chart. We're going to talk about issues here. Now, the one issue that's going to be missing from this is going to be ribbon break, which a lot of times is a cassette issue. But the reason why we don't have it here is because we have a whole different ribbon break, and we'll get into that one next. But before we do, let's go down the main paths here. So, cassette issue flowchart. We've got, does the cassette assemble to the printer? That's a pretty obvious one, right? Can I put this thing on or not? Or when I put it on, am I being fought every step of the way? So, yes or no. So, if it's not, your cassette can't be assembled. We got to check a bunch of things. We could check this latch screw. We also want to check the alignment shafts, this alignment shaft as well. And what tends to happen is these things tend to get dropped. It'll get dropped like this. It'll hit, one of these posts or shafts, and it'll put it out of straight. Now we try to push this thing on, and it can't. It's just fighting me. So we take this off, and we see, hopefully, if the plate wasn't damaged, maybe the set screw took all the damage. We can replace that set screw inside here and keep moving. Otherwise, we have to replace the plate. Now, there are times where you can drill through here and use a screw from the back. Sometimes that saves people, sometimes not. So going down the list, it could be those shafts, it could be the plate. There's also, on a very rare occasion, it's not a cassette issue because you can't assemble. There's something wrong on the cassette. And a lot of times it's the mating parts of this. So there's two printer alignment shafts on the printers that these two cassette posts line up with. Those tend to take a bend too over time, and those could be causing that issue. Okay, so let's go back now. Does the cassette assemble to the printer? Yes. So are you getting cassette open air? Now remember earlier we kind of talked about this with this magnet. The magnet is what tells the printer that the cassette is assembled. So if you are getting cassette open air, the answer is yes. All right, so that means your cassette's assembling, no binding, but the cassette open air is present. So try the following. Make sure the magnet's here. Make sure it's working. Grab a spare magnet and line it up with that print head PCB. Sometimes you can stack another magnet on top of here to keep yourself running. If it's not the magnet's there, it could be the print head PCB, okay? Now, if we went down the no path to that, basically what we'd be saying is the cassette is assembling and it's recognized by the printer, but you're still having issues, and a lot of times this is a ribbon break issue. And that's where the next flowchart will get in. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and disassemble this thing so you can see how we take this apart. I kind of feel bad because most of you guys already know how to do this, so feel free to skip this part. But if you're doing this for the very first time, this is a good step-by-step and show you how to do that. We have our cassette here. Now, if you have the 107 or the 53s, it's gonna look virtually the same. The difference with the 107 is everything's gonna be a little bit taller. So first thing, we have a middle alignment pin. We've got our two cassette posts. We've got our two mandrels. We have our magnet. We have our cassette release button, and we have our latch screw. Now, taking everything apart, we'll start with the top and work our way down. Very first thing is that middle pin. We're going to grab an 8mm wrench, open him up. Now, he's held in place with a set screw. That set screw, it's an M6 set screw that can be removed with a 3mm Allen key. That'll take that off. Uh, Before you go replacing parts, it's good to go ahead and replace these set screws, especially on these components, even the mandrels, because you never know. You might get lucky, and sometimes the screw will take the brunt of the damage. It happens pretty frequently on these posts, less so on the mandrels and this middle pin. Now moving to the mandrels, we'll take one of them apart. We're going to start with a 2.5mm Allen key. We are going to use that to take the screw out of our friction cone. So go ahead and loosen that thing up. This whole assembly should pop off. Next, we have a nice little wrench flat. That will be a 5mm wrench to open this up. Let's crank him. And there you go. The set screw even came with that guy. Moving on to our latch, we'll use a 5mm. Allen key to remove that. Now, I'm going to hold this a little closer and we're going to talk about this. This is our screw, and this is just a nut. What does this nut do? It actually allows us to play with the height. So if we were to go put it back on like this, we would have a much bigger gap between here, which is the wall down here, and where this ends. If we were to tighten this up, we'd have a smaller gap between this shoulder and the wall. And what does that really mean? What does that what does that really mean? That really means that when that means when the nut is real close like this, we're going to pull our cassette closer to the printer. At this point, he probably won't even latch. We'd have to have something like this. And then the further this nut goes, the further the cassette will be from the printer. Okay. Now our cassette release button, I'm not going to remove it because I don't want to lose this tool. But basically, you would grab a small set of pliers and pull that apart, and this would pop out. He's got a little spring on it. And then moving on to our last one, we're going to grab a 12 millimeter wrench to pop these cassette posts off, just like that. Okay. Now, cassette post comes with a roller. The roller is really nice for allowing the ribbon to flow smoothly. Over time, these rollers wear out and they need to be replaced. And again, we've got our set screw. So like I mentioned, replace these before you go replacing the posts. Now, the one thing that we kind of mentioned is you can replace all these components and still have issues, especially ribbon break issues or alignment issues. And that means that it's not the components that are bad, it's this cassette plate that's bad. That's when you want to go and buy a new cassette plate from us, because these are die cast, and when they drop, they're not as forgiving as the heavy duty ones like the older style. So these do tend to take a warp. They take a beating, and they go out of whack. You can try to drill through the holes through everything to salvage some stuff, but it's unfortunately we're seeing more and more of these plates needing to be replaced. Ribbon break flow chart. This is a perfect segue between the cassette issues and printer issues because the ribbon break issue can be either both, sometimes one or the other. So let's go through this flow chart. Very first section we need to ask is, did the ribbon actually break? So when you're getting this air, you need to find out, did it actually break or not? Because it'll point us in two different directions. So let's go down the path where, yeah, he actually did break. We're going to do a couple things. We want to first take a look at our print head, make sure there's no damage around the print head that could be causing the break, right? So like a chipped edge at the edge of a print head or something like that. Next, we want to confirm that the substrate's not moving during the intermittent style printing. So when it comes down, stops, the substrate's supposed to stop, head's supposed to go down and move. Number three, we want to inspect the distance. Now, we talked about this earlier, the print head gap. So that's going to be how close we are from the print head to the platen pad that we're printing on. If we're too close, every time that head's going to come down, he's going to just rip it away. The final thing we want to look at here is after we eliminate those, let's start looking at our settings. Make sure, so what we've done is we've eliminated any mechanical cause, but now we're going to eliminate any setting cause. So we're going to look at like the print force, print darkness, all of those settings to make sure we're not, print speed as well, make sure we're not causing this through a setting issue. Now, a lot of times, this is a good hint too. A lot of times I see this in repairs that customers send us. When a print head starts to fail, they'll jack up the print force because that will compensate for a bad print head. So what this means really is your print looked great when you got your new print head, but it's been several months and it's been running fine for several months, but all of a sudden it's starting to fade, but slowly, right? So you're not really noticing it. And what your operators do is they jack up the print force by, I don't know, half a kilogram. And then the next month they do it again and they do it again and they do it again. And eventually you get to a point where you're maxed out on print force just to compensate for that print quality. And what will end up happening is you'll end up starting to get different errors. This is where the carriage position errors and other printer errors are going to come into play because you have a print head issue. So it's something to note, especially when we come to settings and we're talking about ribbon break. Now, if we go down the path where the ribbon isn't breaking, so you're getting the air, but it's not breaking. That means you take the cassette off and you can see the ribbon is still great there. We got to ask ourselves, did the air occur during the calibration process? If that answer is yes, the printer is recording an incorrect tension. Now, this could be a couple different reasons. Number one, check for misalignment. If the cassette is struggling to assemble to the printer, now this means the cassette's going on, but something's not aligned properly and our mandrels aren't snapping in. At that point, we're going to go ahead and replace these mandrels because a lot of times that's our most common cause. These things, what ends up happening is your operators or whoever's changing ribbon, sometimes they get stuck on there and they'll just grab it and pull it at different angles and then it'll bend those shafts or bend the plate or they get dropped or whatever. And it'll cause that misalignment and you're going to get ribbon break every time because these are never clicking in. If the mandrels are assembling, so you could take your side plates off your printer, take a look, they're assembling to the motor couplings, but you're still getting this. At that point, we would actually run a motor calibration, and you could do that through Clarity Config. We'll touch on that in a little bit. And then finally, go ahead and make sure your cores aren't slipping. So that means your take-up core goes on here. Just try to rotate it by hand. Make sure it's not slipping. Or, these little 3 springs on the side, they add the tension to the cores. Make sure the cores are the right size, right? Sometimes they are over. The OD or the ID is a little bit too big. Now, if we went down the path where the ribbon didn't break and it's not actually happening during calibration, what we need to do next is look at a few things. There's 2 things specifically we want to look at. Basically, your printer's detecting some type of tension abnormality, but it's not picking up during the first cassette. During the first calibration, but it's picking it up as you run. And what could cause that? Well, an improper tuning could cause that. So everything lines up perfectly, but over time, the motors and these are not synced. At that point, it's time to, all right, let's take a look, confirm that the friction cones are good on the mandrel, but we're going to assume for this case, the cassette's already taken care of. It's not a cassette issue. Then we need to look at the motors, right? So we need to tune those motors again. So this step would again be a tuning of the motors to make sure those gains are all set properly so the tension can be recorded properly to this cassette. And if that happens and you're still getting this issue, we need to take a look at your print darkness. Now, sometimes we have customers who like to run their print darkness very low. Maybe they'll run it at 85%. And they do that because less energy to the head means less energy to the head means less wear on your print head. So you get a longer life on your print head, which is great when everything works great. But you compromise print quality and you compromise the transfer of the print. And this is a setting that should be checked. Increase that print darkness all the way up to 100%. If you're getting these weird errors and you don't know why. Now, a lot of times this last one with the darkness setting, you'll have an accompanying substrate speed error detection issue too. And that's because the ribbon is actually sticking to the film as the film's getting pulled through. So there's other errors that go with that one. That one's not as common. Breaking ribbon breakdown, most common, mandrels, cassette issue. After that, motors, tension issue.